Pranam Acharya. Um, Related exactly to what you just said about women. I'm the father of a high school daughter, and I have just one daughter. And probably I have tried to raise her exactly on the lines that you have always told me. Um, she's very good at studies. She is a fantastic dancer. She completed her Arangetram and graduated in Bharatanatyam already. She is in her high school basketball team. She knows how to play musical instruments. She wins poem competitions every year in her school and amongst all the regional school districts. And she was recently selected into one of the top high schools by clearing an entrance exam. And you won't believe the pressure she has, because in the school that she was selected, there are more girls than boys actually. Okay, so the ratio is a little skewed. And the pressure that she feels is that some of the other girls are more better in, I'm unable to come up with the word adaएं, that that the other girls have boyfriends in there, but she is more focused in all of that thing. And how do I convince my daughter, or I would say, how do I raise my daughter so that she doesn't feel that pressure, even though she's doing better in all the life? And second thing is just related exactly to that, is how women are unable to do is, think about it. At the same time when the soccer World Cup was happening last year, okay, everybody was glued only to the men's Argentina cricket team and how Messi was playing, which is great. I'm not against Messi here, okay? But at the same time, the Indian women's cricket team was also doing really well, okay? And nobody was discussing that at all. And I feel sometimes it is not, I feel that women themselves do not watch, whether it is women's cricket or women's basketball or any of the women's sports. The day when women will start watching women's sports and support women's sports activities, they themselves will do well. So, that's that. So there are two questions, one at a generic level and one at a personal example level. That's what my question.
You see, the standards have to be set very high. See, it's like when you exercise with 15 kg weights. After that, the 5 kg ones just stop mattering because the standards have been raised. Similarly, she has to be introduced to women who really are worthy of being remembered. And then her internal standards will rise to a point where she'll stop caring for the stylos and the hipsters. Otherwise, if she feels that these are the only ones available in her world to compare herself against, obviously she'll feel left behind or disadvantaged. Your standards have to be very, very high, na? And why must you allow your environment to dictate your standards? Let those standards come from books and documentaries and videos and other places. Books primarily. If she, for example, spends an entire week reading the life story of Marie Curie, how after that will she afford to give respect to a certain, let's say, Pari in her class, who is a dimwit from here, but is fantastically regarded because of her body and her style and her dressing and her boyfriends? After you have been with Curie, how will you respect Pari? That's the thing. That's why education is the real thing. Give her real solid role models. And then she will become not just disregardful, but disdainful of all these typical teenagers. So that's what. If I do not know what kind of highness is possible, then any kind of lowness will become the gold standard for me. That's why reading is so important. Otherwise, anybody in your environment will come and influence you and boss you from within. And it happens a lot in school and in college. Some local kind of stud just becomes the dominant hero. And who is he? Worthless chap. But he can take away a very large chunk of your mind and life. We all know of these people from our college days, don't we? Some random worthless fellow, but he dominates the scene in the school, in the college, in the university, and he dominates it so much that he can influence a lot of his batchmates to take wrong kinds of decisions. Inductive effect, no? One wrong role model, one very wrong kind of, very mediocre but powerful. Mediocre but powerful and attractive and glitzy. And this fellow becomes the impression creator, the goal setter, and he induces a lot of batchmates into the wrong kind of attitudes, lifestyle, and ultimately wrong life decisions. And that can be taken care of very easily. Just give your daughter the right role models. Right role models. Give her great books. See what her preferred mode of assimilation is. If it's visual, take her to the right documentaries, the right movies. See how she likes to absorb information and give that to her. And there are just so many names. We have talked of them frequently even on AP Circle. Women worth respecting, women worth even worshipping. And they exist, they have existed in history. Why must we not take note of them? Why must we not introduce those glorious women to our daughters? But that's not being done. Mainstream education is not doing that. All right, let fathers and mothers do that. Otherwise, the danger is very real. Some pari will become her idol. I want to be like Pari. And then she'll drop her dancing, her sports, her recitation, her poems, her elocution, her passion, everything she'll drop, and she'll just start chasing boyfriends so that she can stand up to somebody like Pari. I call these nodes of evil. They are not too many, but they are highly influential. They set the bar. They have to be fought against. And they can be very young. Typically, we don't want to associate the word evil with a teenager. But the reality is, yes, even teenagers can be evil. A 15-year-old can be evil. That does not mean that the 15-year-old has to be killed. That means that he has to be corrected. Maybe as parents, you and her mother, you need to sit together and first of all figure out who are the names you must introduce your daughter to. Right? Is she reading something from Sarojini Naidu? If she's interested in Hindi, has she been brought to Mahashweta Devi or Mahadevi Varma? The names are comparatively fewer when it comes to women. Fewer, but they still exist, don't they? For 10 male poets, you will have 4 female poets as well, and 4 is sufficient. You introduce her to these 4. You have freedom fighters, you have scientists, you have politicians, you have sports persons. In all walks of human activity, you do have women role models, and young girls must be introduced to them. Otherwise, they will simply chase boyfriends just as boys chase girlfriends, and they'll dress up and try to act adult and get into all kinds of nonsense.